Welcome to the Travel Transformation Podcast, the podcast that explores the life-changing potential of solo travel, intentional travel, and location-independent working. Whether you're an aspiring digital nomad or simply want to boost your confidence through epic travel experiences, I'm here to motivate and inspire you to go after all your wildest dreams. I'm Jessica Grace Coleman, author, travel transformation coach, founder of Flip the Script Travel Transformation Services, and your host for the Travel Transformation Podcast. Travel changed my life. Now let's change yours. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to the Travel Transformation Podcast, the podcast where we talk all things travel and all things transformation. I'm Jessica Grace Coleman, your host, and I want to apologise again in case you can hear rain or wind. I'm sort of batching some episodes together, and I've chosen the windiest, the rainiest day ever to record. And as I'm not in a fancy podcast studio, I apologise if you can hear the weather, but hopefully it just adds a bit more atmosphere to the podcast and you can picture me surrounded by very bleak, very English weather of wind and rain. This week I want to talk about how to transform through travel when you can't travel. And obviously this probably would have been more helpful during the pandemic, during the lockdowns of the pandemic. But I think it applies because obviously we can't always travel when and where we want to, whether it's because of money, time, obligations, responsibilities, or anything else. And sometimes we don't want to travel maybe for whatever reason, but we still want to work on ourselves and work on our personal growth and our self-development. And I think we could still do this without traveling if we use the same principles that I teach people to use when they are traveling. If that made any sense at all, let's get started. Okay, so although I highly recommend travel to everyone, I think it's one of the best things you can do in your entire life in terms of transforming yourself and boosting your confidence and all that. And although I encourage you to break through your fears and limiting beliefs in order to get on that plane or that train or that boat, I understand that not everyone can travel and you might not be able to travel right now. This might be because of money, because of physical or medical issues, been there, or because you don't have the time. And you never know when a pandemic is going to rear its ugly head and cause most countries in the world to lock down. Let's hope it's not going to happen again anytime soon, but you never know. So with this in mind, I wanted to talk about how we can still transform ourselves through travel, even when we can't travel. But how do you do this? Well, you can do it using the same principles I use when teaching people how to transform through travel, especially solo travel. We just need to do it on a smaller scale. Though, of course, that doesn't mean the transformation itself has to be small. So, what are the 5 main principles of transforming through travel, even when you can't travel? 1. Put yourself out there and try something new. 2. Connect with others on a deeper level than you usually would. 3. Visit somewhere you've never been before. 4. Commit to doing something completely out of your comfort zone. And 5. Set yourself a challenge and make sure you do it. And as a bonus, I recommend creating a travel transformation playlist full of inspiring and motivational tracks that will encourage you to put yourself out there and do what you need to do and remind yourself afterwards of all the amazing experiences you've had. Music is great for this. Picking one song in particular for each new thing you try is a great idea too. So how do we apply these principles to non-travel experiences? Let's take each one in turn. Number 1, put yourself out there and try something new. This is obviously a lot easier to do when you're traveling and you're already in that mindset of doing things you don't usually do on a daily basis, but anyone can try something new wherever they are. You can join a club or society, take a class, learn an instrument or a new skill, or simply go to a restaurant and eat on your own, or do anything else you've never done before, whether that's out of fear or simply because you've never got around to it. Once you've done it once, you'll find it easier to do it, or something else new, the next time. Your transformation has begun. 2. Connect with others on a deeper level than you usually would. This is easier said than done, but certainly not impossible. Get your friends together and ask them some deep questions, or just go to the pub where it's, casual and try to change the subject away from the usual topic of conversation. Or you could try one of my Flip the Script digital party packs. You can check these out at traveltransformationcoach.com/party. But you also get all 6 party packs as part of your Academy membership when you join the Flip the Script Travel Transformation Academy, which you can find at traveltransformationcoach.com/academy. And there are 6 of them. There's Mindset Makeover, Business Besties, Team Building Takeover, Life Goals and Legacy, Birthday Boost, and Hen-Do Hootenanny if you're having a hen-do or bachelorette party. This basically just makes self-development and personal growth more fun and more collaborative, and you can do it in a party setting while still getting to know someone on a really deep level. Number 3 is visit somewhere you've never been before. Now, this one is somewhat travel related, but it doesn't mean you have to go far. Go and hop on a local train and see where you end up. Get off the bus at a different stop in a part of town you've never been. Or you could simply leave your house, choose a direction, and start walking. See where you end up. Just pretend you're Frodo and you're leaving the Shire to go on an adventure. Even if that adventure only takes you a few minutes away from home, it doesn't matter. Just focus on seeing some new sights. You never know where you'll end up, what you'll do, or who you'll meet. Number 4 is to do something completely outside your comfort zone. Sign up to an open mic night. Ooh. Ask someone out on a date. Obviously, if you're not already dating someone, preferably. Tell your boss if you think you deserve that promotion or raise. Get a piercing or a tattoo. Whatever it is, you don't have to travel very far to do it, and you'll probably feel pretty amazing after you've done it. So go on, push yourself and step outside that comfort zone. It will be scary in the moment, but it will be an amazing feeling afterwards. Number 5 is set yourself a challenge and make sure you do it, and that is the important bit. So once you've completed number 4, you can then attempt number 5, which is similar but on a much bigger level. So set yourself a challenge, physical or mental challenge, and stick to it. And this means having accountability. Tell people you're doing it. Shout it from the rooftops, let everyone know, so you have to do it. If you need more accountability, do the challenge to raise money for charity. That way you'll be a lot less likely to back out and there'll be even more of a reason to go through with it. There are tons of challenge ideas online, just do an internet search and see what comes up. Once you've completed the challenge, you'll realise that you're way more capable than you think you are, and you'll be far more likely to do this kind of thing in the future, which is how you transform. If you make your way through all 5 transforming through travel principles, even when you can't travel, your transformation won't be complete by any means, but you'll be well on your way. With each new thing you do, each task you complete, and each challenge you smash, you'll be building your confidence and showing yourself that you can do, well, pretty much anything. Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready to become location independent? Are you ready to create your ultimate dream lifestyle? Then I have just the thing for you. The Flip the Script Academy with me, Jessica Grace Coleman. My online academy, which is bursting with life-changing courses and resources, is for anyone who feels stuck in life, wants to make a change, would like more meaning and purpose in their life, wants to shake things up, especially after the pandemic, wants to start or grow a business or side hustle they can run from the road, wants to incorporate travel into their lives in all kinds of different ways, or is simply ready for an transformation. For more info, just head to traveltransformationcoach.com/academy. And now, back to the Travel Transformation Podcast. Now, talking about traveling without actually traveling. During the lockdowns, so many people came up with really creative ways of leaving the house without actually leaving the house. And I think we can learn from these and incorporate them into our daily lives when we can't get to the places we want to go to. So for instance, a lot of people started doing virtual tours online, on YouTube, that kind of thing. You can get so many videos from all over the world of people just wandering around cities and countries and being your tour guide, basically, your virtual tour guide. During the pandemic, they did a lot of live ones where you could pay them or tip people after they've done it, and they will literally live stream them going around their local area and giving out information. I think that's a really cool way of doing it, but there's loads of pre-recorded stuff online that you can find. There's also loads of live webcams, which some are better than others, but you can see beautiful views of mountains and lakes, or city views, or webcams in zoos. There's all kinds of things like that. If you start searching, you can go around the world in several minutes. And I particularly like the webcams because they're live and you can see what's happening right there, right then. But obviously need to make sure you get the timing right and look at the time zones, because you could just be watching a dark blank screen if it's 3 a.m. in Boulder, Colorado, and you can't see any of the mountains. Also, things like exercise equipment at the gym. I really like going to the part where you can watch videos while you're cycling or cross-trainering, if that's a word, or walking. So the gym I used to go to had ones where I would cycle and the video would be of someone's point of view walking around Paris or walking around a national park in America. And it was really cool, and it made me exercise more because I wanted to continue with the tour. So I would highly recommend doing something like that, going to the gym, because you're doing exercise, you're doing things to improve your body, your mind, your mindset, and you get to go on a little tour around wherever you want to go. If you don't just want to go on a YouTube tour where you're not in control, you can obviously go on Google Earth and Street View and, just wander around an area. I do this quite often before I go somewhere, especially if I'm going on my own. So I know exactly where the hotel is or the house I'm going to, where if there's a bus stop or a train station that I need to navigate from to the accommodation. I just look around so I get a feel for the place, so I can recognize landmarks once I get there. And so I'm not going in blind, as it were. So it's a really practical, good thing to do, but also, just pick somewhere you've always wanted to go and go on Street View and you move the little orange dude around to explore the area. It's a really good way of doing it if you can't get there, and it's a really good thing to build up the anticipation if you are going somewhere, or if it's on your bucket list and you're going to go there one day. And going on from that, there are things like virtual challenges, which I've recently got into and I really like. So I found up to Conqueror virtual challenges, which I think they started during the pandemic. They do actual physical tours of places, like a travel tour company, but then they started doing virtual ones. Basically, you sign up, it's £25 or £30 entrance fee, but that pays for your medal to be shipped to you once you're done. And you pick a challenge. There's ones from all over the world. There's also fictional ones. The Conqueror ones do Lord of the Rings challenges, which are 5 ones. The medals are really cool. All the medals are really cool. They have little interactive bits and things that open and push up, and they're just really great. And you can set a time limit for yourself, so you can really try and challenge yourself to do it in a certain time limit. And you see a little virtual map, and you can see your journey around the track compared to the other people. You can see the other people doing it as well. And for most of them, not the Lord of the Rings ones, for obvious reasons, but most of them include Street View as well. So you see a little picture of your avatar, and it's actually in a Street View location, and you can see where you're going. At the moment, I'm doing the Cotswold Way. I've done Yellowstone, I've done Angkor Wat, I've done Niagara Falls. I've got a few booked. Transylvania has just come out, which looks really cool. And next year, I'm going to challenge myself to do Route 66 in a year, which is about over 2,000 miles. And the ones I've done recently have been about 100 miles or less. So that's going to take a long time. But it's really great because you're getting an exercise. It encourages you to walk more. And you get these great medals. And you can explore real places as well. I did the Giza pyramids as well, which is a really cool one. I really recommend signing up to something like that if you can't currently travel, or if you can. It's a really great way of, if you're, say, hiking around a new country, you can do that while also virtually hiking around a different country. So you're getting a lot more information. They also send you postcards throughout as if you're actually going around the tour, and you're sending a postcard back to yourself, and they give you information about the local area with text and videos and pictures. And also you can choose to either plant trees as you're going around or stop plastic bottles going in the ocean. So every 20% of the route, I think, you either get to plant a tree or stop a bottle going in the ocean. So you're doing something good for the environment as well, and also doing obviously something good for your body and your mindset, and learning about new places. So I highly recommend that. The one I use is Conqueror, and you get an actual app for it. It's called Conqueror. It's at www.theconqueror.events. And they also have a really great Facebook group. And I don't say this often about Facebook groups, but it's the most supportive, lovely place ever. People post about where they're going, their journeys, any health improvements they've had. There's one guy that was doing the whole Lord of the Rings challenges, and he was dressed as a hobbit and taking pictures around his local area as if he was in the Shire and Mordor and all that kind of thing, and creating his own little narrative as he went around. And it's just really, really fun. I would really highly recommend it. So with fitness, as with travel, it pays to think outside the box and try something different. And who knows, you might even get a shiny medal for your trouble. I'm kind of addicted to collecting these now. And I think if you're going to be addicted to anything, addicted to exercise and getting shiny medals is not a bad thing. And if you want to try solo travelling in the future, doing very small trips close to home on your own is a great way of building up that confidence muscle and getting used to doing things on your own. So even if you can't travel very far now, when you come to be able to do it in the future, you will have a lot more confidence and a lot more trust in your abilities if you have been going on little solo trips here and there, getting on a train, getting on a bus, just maybe driving half an hour away in a direction you don't usually go and exploring that area. There's so many things you can do if you can't afford to travel to a different country or to travel several hours away from your home. Yeah, and if you have any ideas of how you can travel or transform yourself with travel principles, but without actually traveling, I'd love to hear them. Email me at info@traveltransformationcoach.com or DM me on Instagram at traveltransformationcoach. And as ever, if you write a review on Apple Podcasts, please let me know. Send me a screenshot or send me the name you've written the review under, or copy and paste it and let me know which is yours. Send it to info@traveltransformationcoach.com or at traveltransformationcoach on Instagram, and I will pick a winner every month to send a free ebook to of Write Your Life, Write Your Year, Intentional Travel Transformation, or whatever non-fiction titles I come up with in the future. So yes, please do. It's so important to get the word out there, and ratings and reviews really, really help. So I really appreciate every single review and rating. And until next time, I will catch you on the flip side. Bye! Thank you for listening to this episode of the Travel Transformation Podcast with me, Jessica Grace Coleman. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review, and spread the word if you have friends or family who also want to transform through travel. For a chance of winning one of my books in ebook form, please review this podcast on Apple Podcasts and send a screenshot to info@traveltransformationcoach.com or at traveltransformationcoach on Instagram. I'll be picking a new winner each month, and you can choose between any of my non-fiction titles, including Write Your Life, Write Your Year, and Intentional Travel Transformation. You can find out more about me at traveltransformationcoach.com, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.